Sudan, the land of the Black Pharaohs. A country with more than 300 pyramids, more than twice as many as Egypt. And practically no tourists. So it's like visiting Egypt, but with that Laura Croft feeling of having the place pretty much to yourself to explore.
Okay, so you really need to see this.
Our journey begins in Khartoum, where a national museum serves as a little bit of a teaser to its archaeological wonders. But the real fun in exploring the Nubian civilization is up north in the desert. Archaeological sites are scattered all throughout Sudan's north, but there are 5 major ones: Nurri, Kurru, Jebel Bargal, Merowe, and Musawarat. And to see all 5 of them in chronological order requires that we drive 6 hours north through the desolate Sudanese landscape to Nurri. What we're at right here, this is El Nurri. This is where ancient Nubia first began. So we're, like I said, we're going in chronological order. That is, let's see if I have my memory straight. Espelta. Yeah, these kids are teaching me the names of all the pyramids here, and I'm teaching them some phonetics too. So, you know, we're kind of going over there. Whoa! That's blown away. All right. So we got Espelta. That is this one right here. That funny-looking one over there is Alamani, and then over here, they all have different names, by the way, and they date back about 25, actually no, I think more than 2,500 years. So they extend all the way over there. Our journey continues to the east, to the site of El Kurru. This is where the real fun first begins. But of course, we must first stop for a little bit of local Sudanese cuisine. I mean, real local. So this right here is camel. Right now we are in the town of El Kurru, which is the site of the necropolis of Napata. Now, Napata was the very first capital of the ancient Nubian kingdom, otherwise known as the Kingdom of Kush. Now, here we have 2 tombs, and I'm going to take you inside that one in a second. And there's the other one right there. Both that are actually really well intact. See, this is the thing about some of the places I travel to is if these were in Egypt, there would be like 5,000 tourists and their selfie sticks and their duck faces. But because these are in Sudan, pretty much have these bad boys, you know, pretty much to ourselves. So this is the first one. Now, they don't want people taking pictures with a flash. So I have this awesome thing called a flashlight. Another thing about the Nubian archaeological sites versus the older Egyptian sites is because they're a lot newer. You can also see the paintings a lot more clearly. Now, let me take off the shade. And all right, so I'm not exactly sure whose tomb this is, but I'm going to try to get you as close up as I can, because I know that the graphics on these videos have a tendency to be a little on the grainy side. I see we have all these hieroglyphics. Anywhere above arm's length, they're pretty much still intact. Below that, they're not really there anymore. They're kind of rubbed off, but see, that's the thing, is like the paint is actually still on there. These are some of the Egyptian gods. I know one of those is, there we go. I know that one's Anubis. I need to remember who that Ibis one is. And right over here, we got the scarab, more hieroglyphs. I know that the ancient Egyptians, I'm pretty sure the Nubians did this too, was they made a lot of their paints out of stuff like soot, which is where you see that black, and also iron oxide, I believe, which is where you see that red. There, you see we got more of them right here. Now, one of the things about the afterlife in ancient Egypt, and I'm pretty sure the Nubians took after this too. Oh, hey, there you go, Horus, the sun god, is the gods would weigh your heart against a feather, and if it was lighter than the feather, it means that you were a very decent person and you would get an afterlife. And if it was heavier than the feather, then it just means that you were a scumbag and you would get no afterlife. I don't believe they believed in, a version of what we call, hell, or as the Greeks called it, a Tartarus. It would just simply be, no afterlife. Now, the ancient Mesopotamians, they believed that your afterlife was just, scum, regardless of what kind of person you were. They believed that the gods, hated them. But here we go. We got the monkeys up there. Of course, they always mummified a lot of animals when they, stuck these guys in the grave. That's a nice pattern up there. And I'll show you more hieroglyphs. See, that's the thing, is even though I can put my hands on these, I'm going to respect the history by not touching them. Alright, so let me see if I can get you one. No, can't really see much there. Okay, so there we go. That's what I have to show you on that. Again, really cool. Of course, it's like an oven down there. So granted, that was much more thorough than it needed to be. But it just goes to show how solidly clad in original paintings that tomb is. So like I said, it is that Tomb Raider feeling of being amongst the first to step inside. But hey, there's a lot more coming, and the best is yet to come. So stay tuned. And then, of course, we got the town of Karima right here. So up next is Jebel Barkal, which is over there. And